Is there anything, will anything happen to these companies that seem to have built their businesses solely around these third-party data assets? Like what is your prediction for them? Like what do you think is going to happen there?
Yeah, so I think as it becomes harder for in general for everyone to buy more data, right? You cannot, and again, there's a somewhat gray area space to it, but if it's harder to buy information on Bill Parliament, right, it means that you had to find other ways to increase still your audience size. You have to get more data because you have to remain relevant and remain recent, right? So what we've found or seen is that there have been a number of different acquisitions, especially in the last, I'll call it 5 years, but maybe even more recent. And essentially, with that, what you have these third party data identity companies and asset companies, they're buying other companies because those companies have data. So it's almost like a loophole. I can't buy data, but I can just buy this company that has all this data, right? And it's a little bit like, Einstein's relativity, where it's, as an advertiser, or as a mattress company or whatever, like that's third party because it's not my data, right? But if I'm the third party data company, it's first party to me because it's my data, right? So it just depends on like whose perspective you're looking at things from. It changes what it is. So for these identity companies, it's their first party data because they're the company, right? And they're going around buying other companies because they can still use that acquisition. Now it's their company, and therefore it's their kind of first party data in that sense. So we've definitely seen a lot of M&A, a lot of acquisitions as a way to continue to increase your data asset in terms of volume, as well as in terms of quality. But there's only so many companies left, right? There's not a lot. You're going to run out of companies essentially to acquire. So there is now the question of like, well, what happens next when, quote unquote, all the companies have been gobbled up?